What's going on, everybody? It is your boy Chris, man. I am here at the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast. It is the first Tuesday in February, February 3rd, 2026. My name is Chris Drummond. I am a freelance sports reporter based out of upstate New York here and proprietor of this podcast, Work Hard, Play Harder, where I bring individuals on to talk about their why and get to know them outside of their school or their occupation. I got a very special guest that's on with me today, as she is a senior softball player for Florida Tech University. And she is an infielder for softball, and she's going to be graduating this upcoming May, which is absolutely awesome. Her name is Miranda Schwartz. We're going to be talking to her about her why of getting into sports, but we're also going to ask her some get to know you questions. So without any further ado, I introduce you the wonderful, the talented, and the beautiful Miranda. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for hopping on. No doubt about it. I'm very, very excited to have you on. And listen, my first question to you is the same question as it always is with everybody that's on here. And that is, what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Did you have any role models or any inspirations maybe growing up? But ultimately, what is your why for getting into sports?
So, my why for getting into sports, I started really early on. My parents put me in any and every sport when I was little. I did soccer, did gymnastics, even did some flag football. My brother quit, so ended up taking on that role too.
Hmm.
But really, when I was 6, I was playing both softball and doing gymnastics at the same time. And by the time I reached age 9, my parents were like, "It's too much. You gotta pick one. You gotta pick one."
Hmm.
I told them I like playing in the dirt better than I did doing gymnastics. And
Right,
so
right.
that's how my gear towards softball had started.
Hmm.
And I mean, there wasn't really like I never really looked up to anyone in the softball community, honestly. It just kind of was like something I fell in love with growing up. I mean, growing up, I was a pitcher when I was little, and I was decent at it. And I was always put in tough situations. I liked being in the high pressure situations. Really loved all of that.
Hmm.
And then got to high school and realized in college pitchers don't really hit. And
Hmm.
so I would pitch, I would play the infield, and I would hit, and I really liked hitting, and that was my like I'm gonna steer away from pitching because I really, really want to hit.
Hmm.
That was my big thing.
For sure.
My why it really I really believe it comes later on in life. I mean, my parents, both my mom and my dad, really helped me throughout the entire process, and I'm truly thankful. And I think that relationship's always kind of up and down because you love your parents, you want them to help you out. But sometimes there's that overstepping that isn't realized until
Sure.
you're kind of grown and it's like, oh wow, maybe I should have like taken a step back or like
Hmm.
because we'll say things and like the parents of course think they know better and some most of the time they do, but sometimes we know what we're talking about.
Hmm.
Um
Hmm.
but I think my big why really comes freshman year of college. Unfortunately, my mother ended up passing away suddenly. It was completely like we no idea. It was completely random out the blue, and that was the fall of my freshman year. That was like right when finals hit, and so coming back from that was really tough. Playing
Right.
freshman year, it was more me trying to get through it than me like really focusing on playing and enjoying softball. And I think that's really been my big why and like really focusing on playing and having fun versus playing like because I have to and because like of course my mom would want me to do that, but my mom wants me to have fun and do what I want to do.
Hmm.
And so it was really working back from when I was in high school and of course I was having fun all the time doing what I loved and
Sure.
really trying to light that fire for softball. And so she's really been like my big why, really getting me back to where I truly now feel like I am the best that I could possibly be, mentally wise and performance wise as well. And I think she had a big part in all of that.
I love that. And I appreciate your transparency. Obviously, condolences from me to you. Obviously, that's been a few years, but at the same time, it's never easy to talk about. So I really do appreciate that. And that's an important why. I'm a huge mama's boy, so I definitely know how important mama's is for sure, no question. But you touch upon a lot of things on there, right? Talking
Mhm.
about parents and sometimes how they can be, sometimes overbearing, especially at the age of, us getting into college. We kind of want our independence. We kind of are in the position to make some decisions, but we just don't know it all. The parents know we don't know it all. So it's just a healthy balance of trying to find your independence, but also trying to be like, okay, Ma, Dad, I got this. Like what you have raised me in the household, like trust me to make some of these decisions, right, on my own. So I totally understand that. Did you grow up in Florida, by the way?
Yeah, I was born in Boston actually,
Oh,
but I didn't
okay.
live there very long. Lived there
Hmm.
for just a couple months. But when I'm down here and people ask where I'm from, I say Boston because it sounds a lot cooler. But yeah, I was raised here pretty much my whole life. Moved around a couple cities, but relatively stayed in the Tampa area my whole life.
Got you. That is one city I have yet to be in Florida. I've been to Orlando, been to Miami, Jacksonville, but I have not been to Tampa. So I definitely got a Tampa question for you a little bit later on in this conversation. Now, I want to know why Florida Tech? Were there any other schools that could have persuaded you from going to Florida Tech, or did you always know in your heart of hearts that that was your number one school you wanted to go to?
So when I started my recruitment process, I was of course open to anything and everything. I was talking to Buffalo for a little bit. I knew that was a no-go, but I'm not
Mm,
closing any doors yet.
mm,
I was talking to them, and I really, with the Bright Future Scholarship that they have here in Florida,
mm,
that was really a big one for me to stay. I was always looking the southeast though. I was always like I wasn't stuck to Florida. I was always looking to go out if I could, but
mm,
it definitely was a big pull to keep me here. When I was a sophomore, junior in high school, I figured out that I didn't want to be in some huge school. Like as much as I would love to have played D1, I know like that big massive school wasn't for me. And when I figured out I wanted to do civil engineering, that really narrowed it down a lot. And the three schools at top of my list that I was looking at after doing some research were Florida Tech, Embry-Riddle, and then I really liked University of North Florida. I just
mm.
really liked the campus. I liked how small it was. My sister actually goes there now, and I like to go visit from time to time.
Oh
It's just
yeah.
a big circle. It's super nice. Super. The field's nice. I did a camp there, and they told me that if I was in engineering and I missed practice, they would hold it against me. I wouldn't play, and I
Mm,
can't really control that. And so that just knocked them off. And it was between Embry Riddle and Florida Tech. And I was actually talking to a JUCO as well. And I was committed to this JUCO. I was talking to Eastern Florida,
right.
and they're also right here in Melbourne too.
Hmm.
And I wasn't really gonna go that route, but I went on a tour and they had this fast track, or they had this program where you did 2 years there and then you could go right into Florida Tech and finish out your last 2 years. And I was like, it's a cheaper option. It's good for me. It's I get to do what I want to do. Everything was covered. I had a stipend, full tuition, everything was covered. I was getting paid to go there. And I was like, this is perfect. I'll do that. I'll transfer in. I'll have no debt or anything. It was perfect. The coach got fired my senior year. Um,
Mm,
they had a
okay,
new coach
okay,
come in, and I got on the phone with her. I discussed my scholarship, and I asked if she was going to keep that scholarship and honor it, and she said she would. I was like, okay, perfect, like good, like everything is back on track. I
right.
get my national letter of intent to sign, and she took away all my money except for $3,000 for books. I had no stipend. I had
Wow.
nothing. And so
Hmm.
I get on the phone with her, and I was like, "What happened?" And she said that she honored the scholarship, but she just maneuvered it a little bit. Not that's not what we discussed. Like that's
Right,
not honoring the scholarship. And so I'm going back and forth with her as it's like January or December of my senior year of high school,
right.
trying to figure out this a way to get any more money because I'm not going to a junior college 2.5 hours away paying rent out of pocket when I could just do that at home for free.
Absolutely.
And she decided she was done talking to me, and she had the athletic director send me an email saying after some consideration they didn't believe Eastern Florida would be a good fit for me and they revoked my scholarship.
Wow.
I luckily had already been on a at a camp here at Florida Tech, and the coach really liked me. And I sent her a text, I explained what happened, and within 30 seconds of me sending that text, I had a text back asking if I could come out to a practice. I did. She asked if I had applied to the school yet, and I said I was waiting on my acceptance. And once I got accepted, then she then offered me, and that is how I ended up here.
Lord have mercy. God is good, ain't it? I mean, if it's
Mm-hmm.
just one door that closes, another one that opens. That is so amazing of a story. Again, I appreciate your transparency on that because that's an amazing recruitment type of story. Like, didn't start out that way, fully, but at the same time, it ended really good. And like I said, I've never heard of Florida Tech. I had to do some background research on like where in the hell is Florida Tech at? But at the same time, I love the fact you said University of North Florida. I'm very familiar with UNF because I went to Kennesaw State University, which is in the
Hmm.
same conference as the ASUN conference. So I'm very familiar with University of North Florida, no question about that. So I love that. I love the fact your sister goes there. So yeah, shout out to your sister for going to a pretty dope school for sure.
Yeah.
Um, I want to ask you some favorite questions, Miranda, and you just give me the 411 off the rip based upon these favorite questions. Okay, so here we go. Let's get ready to rock.
Okay.
Favorite meal you like to cook?
I have this meal every day. It's super easy. It's super quick. It's I get this the yellow rice at we have a market on campus, and so I get yellow rice, ground turkey, and frozen stir fry veggies. Cook them all up, put it into a bowl, mix it up, add some shredded cheese in there, and it's the perfect. I love it. The rice and everything goes super well together. It covers all of like the macros, the protein, everything that you need, and I make enough of it to last me 4 days. So that
Mm,
is by far my favorite meal to make.
okay, Miranda. Now listen, everything you said was absolutely delicious. There's no question about that. But what exactly would you call that meal? What would you call that?
So it's like an off-brand taco bowl. Essentially, I used to make taco bowls a lot. I had a boyfriend. I
Mm,
still have a boyfriend. He was here last year. He graduated, got a fifth year. Is now playing baseball at LaSalle. But whenever he was here, we'd get ground beef instead of ground turkey, and we'd get
sure.
buy lettuce and onion and all that, and like make the true taco bowl. But like this year I'm trying to save. We have our little like our flex cash, which is like our meal plan type of thing,
Sure.
and I'm trying to save some of that to use that for necessities for when I move, because I'm moving at the end of May. And so if I can save my personal money instead of using that my personal money on like these toiletries and all that, I can use this money on that and save my money by having this meal every single day, which is still really good. So
I I love the fact that you're just an absolute thinker and a planner like that. Like that really excites me, and it also is very intriguing because when you talk to most collegiate students, especially in the junior and senior sense, they're not thinking like that. Especially that's been on my platform. I'm sure there's many that do, but I haven't had many on my platform think the way you think. That's just amazing. I love the how sharp you are with it for sure. Taco bowls, love taco bowls. Have you ever had like a? I want to ask this bonus question. Have you had like Doritos and taco meat with cheese?
I haven't. I've
Mm,
just I've never gone and got.
mm.
I've never felt the need to grab the Doritos and throw it in there.
Oh my gosh, Miranda, it would change your life. I'm telling you, you put some of that ground turkey, put Doritos in there, put some cheese in there. It sounds crazy, but I promise
It
you,
doesn't sound crazy. 'Cause I know people that do it all the time.
oh, it's good. It's real good. No
Yeah.
question about it. I love it. Okay, that's what's up. I'm a huge steak person though, so I like my steak medium rare. So if I could do steak, that would
Hmm.
be awesome. I love that. Okay.
I had steak all the time in the fall, and then didn't realize how much I was spending on it at the market, and I ran through all of my money, and I was
Mhm.
had to go to the grocery store and like spend my own money, and so that's why I stopped buying steak.
I feel that. Yeah, it's definitely expensive, no question. Now, what favorite concert you've ever attended?
So I would say my favorite one is Zach Bryan. I went in August of 2024.
Okay.
But I've also been to Billy Joel 4 times, which I loved every single one of them.
Mm,
My parents
okay.
really got me into Billy Joel, and then the more it went on, the more they kept going and would invite us to go, and we just kept going, kept going. So love a good Billy Joel, but I went to Zach Bryan with my boyfriend, and that was truly like probably one of the best concerts I've ever been to.
I keep hearing about this Zach Bryan dude, and listen, I'm not a huge country person, but I do like Luke Combs. I do like Morgan
Hmm.
Wallen. I like Luke Bryan. I like some of the newer country artists for sure. Um, but Zach Bryan is a name that I'm hearing a lot more on my podcast for sure. So you gotta send me a playlist. Send me like a playlist of maybe a few songs of his that I will definitely listen to. All right, you gotta DM me
He's like
some.
an R&B of country essentially. Like he doesn't
Mm,
go into like the really deep country that you might hear from like Luke Combs or Luke
hmm
Bryan,
hmm
but it has that country like hint to it, but it's a lot of softer songs, which I really like.
So is it more like a jelly roll? Now you know what jelly roll is,
A
right?
little more country than that.
A little more country than that? Okay,
Yeah.
got you. Say less.
A little
Okay,
more country, a little more upbeat than that too. His
got you.
Jelly Roll is really, really mellow.
You know, there was a song that I listened to the other day by Alex Warren called Bloodline, and now
Yeah.
I cannot get it out of my Pandora. Cannot. I'm playing it on repeat all the time. I love it. You said Billy Joel though. That's two ends of the spectrum that we talking about. Zach
Yeah.
Bryan and Billy Joel. That's the piano man. Like who doesn't love the
I love I could probably recite every song he has. That's what I grew up on. My parents always played it in the car. I love a good Billy Joel.
Absolutely. Two of my favorite songs of his is River of Dreams, which
Hmm.
I love that, and Baby Grand, which the duet he did with Ray Charles. So, yes, who does not love Piano Man?
Yeah.
You got some great taste, girl. I like that.
Thank you.
My favorite concert, though, I would probably say is The Weeknd. I'm a huge R&B
Mm.
person, so I love The Weeknd. I was vibing with him, no doubt. Saw him twice. He's amazing, for sure. Next on the favorites. Favorite place you've ever traveled to?
Um, I'm probably gonna have to say Vancouver. I've
Mm,
been to Vancouver twice in the last 3 years. I was actually playing for the Israeli women's national team for a little
oh,
bit.
okay.
And we went to the Canada Cup in Vancouver in 2023 and 2024.
Hmm
And it was just absolutely gorgeous. I've been to places, I haven't traveled too far outside the US, honestly. I've been on cruises to Mexico, that's about it, but I was
hmm
too young to remember any of those. I've done a lot of trips to Philly. Um, One to Boston, went to Fenway, that was amazing. But I think Vancouver just kind of really stands out. It was just gorgeous.
Yeah, that's definitely on my bucket list to go to like the whole Canadian side, like Montreal. I've been to Toronto. I'm only 2.5 hours away from Toronto, so that's great. I love Toronto, that city. But Montreal, Quebec, Vancouver, all those cities over there, I would love to be able to do that for sure. But you mentioned it, going on a cruise that I went on last year is my favorite place, which was Jamaica. uh, when I
Mm.
when I got a chance to go there with my family, with my dad and my dad's side of the family, it was great. It was amazing. And it was super hot, but the food was great, the vibe was great, everything was so good. So yeah, that's my favorite place for sure. Um, we're sports people, so I gotta ask you this two-part sports question. Favorite sport you like to watch on TV? Favorite sport you like to attend in person? They could be the same sport.
It probably is the same sport. I on TV, I really only like to watch baseball and football. I've never been a huge basketball fan. I can watch soccer, but I'm not really watching any of the pros at it. Um, for baseball, big Red Sox fan. Huge Red Sox fan. Um, for football, I actually got out. Like I got out of it for a little bit. When I was in high school, I really just like stopped caring about the NFL. I would watch it to watch it, but I didn't really have a team.
Mhm.
And then I started dating this guy from Philly, and now I am a Birds fan. Uh,
Okay.
he's trying to get me to turn on the Phillies too, but I can't do that. I can do the Birds, but I cannot do the Phillies. Um,
Listen, you got to compromise. You got to compromise with you.
I can do the Phillies when they're not playing the Red Sox. When they're playing the Red Sox, it's Red Sox all the way.
I feel that.
Um, for being in person, I mean, I actually went to my first NFL game over winter break and went to go see the Eagles play the Raiders in Philly. That was
Mm.
brutally cold, but it was a lot of fun. The environment there was amazing. Thank goodness they won because I was terrified to be in Philly if they had lost. Um,
Oh, yeah,
but
this is true.
they won. It was a great environment.
Hmm
But I've always been a big baseball person through and through. going to all the games. I try to go to as many Red Sox games as possible. Been looking up closest MLB stadiums to Raleigh because there's nothing there.
Hmm.
But yeah, probably both football and baseball.
I believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe that the Braves are hosting the Red Sox next season. So if you do get a chance to look that up, and obviously you'll be in Raleigh, so you'll be about 4 or 5 hours away for sure from
Hmm.
obviously that. But I believe the Atlanta Braves are hosting the Red Sox,
Okay.
which I'm I came from Atlanta, Georgia, college wise. That's a big time Braves town. Obviously, I was there in my college years when they won the World Series. It was actually my final year as far as undergrad when they won the World Series, so that was amazing. And yeah, so but I'm also a huge baseball fan. I'm a Padres fan deep down. Deep down, I'm a Padres fan. I love my Padres. But we just been stinking so much. And one of my favorite places to go is Petco Park. I also want to go to Fenway Park at some point. I've never been to Boston before. I would love to go there sometime. I absolutely cannot stand the Phillies. I'm sorry. I just I can't stand them. Mm-mm. But
They're so good, but they can't like close the deal like at all.
they,
They get so close every year.
it's Bryce Harper for me. He's a great talent. Don't get me wrong. Schwarber, I do like Schwarber, but
Hmm.
Harper, and all those boys, Bomb and I could let Ramoto, JT, Ramuto, all those guys, and they always get, like you said, great teams. They just don't know how to close the deal. I gotta ask you before we move on though, what you think about Bregman leaving Boston and heading to the Cubs? Cubs gave him a lot of money, and he leaves Boston after I think just what 1 year there, and then he goes to the Cubs. So what do you think about that?
I mean, I knew that Bregman wasn't going to be there long term. He's a
Mm,
little bit older, not too much older, but it
hmm
was. I think we only signed into a 1 year deal with the option to return.
hmm
And but we have Marcelo that is probably going to fill in at third, and I think you had Eaton as well that was playing a little bit of third, a little bit of the outfield. So we
hmm
have just a lot of younger talent coming up. And so I think we'll be perfectly fine. I'm really not too worried about it. It did suck Bregman leaving because he was like kind of like everyone I think looked up to him in a way, and he was like a kind of like a big leader in like for the Red Sox last year.
hmm
But I mean, I think Marcelo Mayer will settle in, or if it's Eaton at third, or I think even Hamilton sometimes plays third instead of second base. But I think we'll be all right.
Yeah, that was the main thing for me for the team. Me being such a huge type of sports fan, like you had Devers that left in the middle of the season last year. Now you have
I didn't
Bregman.
mind that at all. I was like, I love Devers. He's a great player.
Hmm
He was a cocky player, and he wasn't a team player. He didn't want to play first base when they asked him to,
hmm
and they thought he just thought he was locked into the Red Sox forever. And then the minute they traded him, I think he was like, oh, I'm not like invincible. And
hmm
then the minute the Giants asked him to play first base, it's like, okay, yeah, I'll play, because now he's realizing like he is not Mr. Big Shot.
Right.
And so I think, I mean, I didn't mind him leaving at all.
And to be honest with you, most Red Sox people that are huge fans of the team did not. They didn't mind that. Now they were kind of like shocked that the Red Sox did it, like pulled the trigger, but at the same time, like, bro, you can't have a disgruntled player on your team. Like he's
Mhm.
disgruntled. Like, you know what I mean? But losing Bregman and Devers, both of those are third baseman type of guys. That was my first thought. Like, who's gonna play third base? They're gonna have a utility person. Then the Red Sox made a big swing and signed the pitcher this offseason that was really, really big time. If I'm not mistaken, they signed Suarez, if I'm not
They
mistaken.
signed Suarez and they signed Sonny Gray.
And I'm like, ooh, those are two really good pitchers, especially Sonny Gray coming over from the Reds, if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
mistaken.
Yeah.
Their rotation should be much better. I think they still
Oh
have
yeah.
Croquet over there, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. He was a Cy Young type of dude. So,
I believe it's Crochet. They have Bello. They have Suarez. I literally just looked at it because my boyfriend sent it to me earlier. They have
hmm,
Suarez. They have Sonny Gray. And I forget who the last guy is, but I mean, they should be pretty well handled. And they still have Tanner Hoot that's coming back, or Hauk
hmm,
that's coming back.
hmm,
And they have a decent bullpen. They have Chapman again for the next couple of years to close, which would be nice.
hmm.
So
So they definitely have the pitchers to be able to pitch with those teams, and you're going to need them too. Obviously, with Toronto going to the World Series, you know that juggernaut. Even though they lost Bo Bichette to the Mets, you know what the Yankees can do. The Orioles just getting Pete Alonso. Seems like that AL East.
That's crazy.
Woo!
That threw me for a loop. I was so shocked when he went there.
And obviously they have Alonso, they have Henderson, they got home run central over there in Baltimore. Yankees do too with Judge and Stanton and those boys. Obviously, we know what Toronto's doing, and obviously, I think Tampa's going to bring up the rear, but they have young players too as well. That AL East is stacked and loaded. They're going to need the pitching to be able to try to compete with that. But I like that. I like your answer. Baseball and football. I love it. I love it. So I'm a huge foodie. Last of the favorites. I'm a huge foodie. I love going to different places and going out to eat. If I ask you, what is your favorite place to go out and eat at? What would Miranda say?
Hmm. That's a great question,
Mm.
honestly. My favorite place to go to eat.
Hmm.
Ooh, yikes. There used to be this place near me, and this is just, the first thing coming to mind.
Hmm.
It was called the Black Rock, and it was in Tampa. And they would bring out, my favorite thing to get with, you could get this steak, and it would come out raw, right? It'd come out raw on the 750-degree heated stone. And so it'd come out on the stone, and then you'd have like your garlic butter, and you'd cook the steak yourself on this like stone. And with the garlic butter, it was some of the best steak I had ever had. And then you'd buy all the sides were like a la carte. So the mac and cheese was always good, and I forget what
Mm.
else they had. But then you go on your birthday, and they have this massive. It's like brownies and ice cream and like whipped cream, and like there's like sparklers sticking out of it. It was like probably like a foot and a half tall. It was massive. But that's really the first thing that's coming to mind right now.
Oh, girl, you on point like a period when it comes to food, girl. You are definitely somebody I can sit down and have some wings with and have a cold beverage with. There's no question
Mm,
about that. I'm with
love
you on that.
wings.
I'm with you on that. Now, hold on. You didn't never told me. How do you like your steak?
I like my steak medium rare. My
Oh,
dad, growing up, he was always like medium, medium. I like it medium too, but I like
mhm.
it just under medium. So more medium rare than medium, but I can have both, honestly.
Okay, girl, you solidified it. Girl, we're gonna have to go get some steak and some wings at some point. No question
Yeah.
about that. I would love that. That's amazing. Let's talk about your day to day. Now, you kind of advocated about it before. You say you have one class and you know you have practice, you have the season that you guys have just started, I believe this month. Talk to me about your day to day operations of what do you do? How much do you practice? How much do you get a chance to do homework? How much time do you have to do the lift? What do you do in your free time? For because since you only have one class and it's kind of winding down for you, like talk to me about what does Monday through Friday look like for you as a student athlete?
So as a student athlete, first off, we lift at 6:50 in the morning on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Mhm.
Granted, Friday after this week, we won't lift on Friday anymore because we play our series Friday, Saturday. So call it Tuesday, Thursday. So starting with Monday, typical Monday, I like personally to go to crunch every day.
Mm.
Whether we lift or not, we don't do a lot of cardio, and so I really like to keep myself in shape, keep myself injured, and just kind of do a little extra. It's really not too much. So typically I'll go to the gym in the morning on a Monday.
Right.
Either do in 20 minutes on the Stairmaster or a 30-minute incline walk, depending on how my body's feeling. Um, go into some deep core, and that's really about it that I do at Crunch. It's just a small little extra to kind of just like do that little bit, just for me to feel good.
Right.
Um, on a Monday, I'll come back from that. I'll make breakfast. Typically, our practice, I believe, is at 2:45 or 3,
Mhm.
and so I'll get back around anywhere between 9 and 10, depending on when I get there. I'll make breakfast, and then I have a big exam coming up in March. It's called the FE, the Fundamentals of Engineering exam. It gets me a nice pay bump for like a raise, and I also need it if I want to become a professional engineer.
Mhm.
It's a 6-hour, 110 question exam. that
Ooh,
starts from like your math, your basic math, and goes all the way through every discipline in civil engineering. And so currently I am taking about 2 hours a day to study for that.
sure.
Um, and usually by then, if I make food at like 10 o'clock,
Hmm.
done by 10:30, 10:45, study from like 11 to 1. I have like a little bit of time to just relax before I go to practice. Come home, make or eat dinner depending if it's ready, if I meal prepped or not. And then usually I end the night with a FaceTime call with my boyfriend, and we'll usually watch an episode of a show. And that's our typical Monday. Same thing for Wednesday. Honestly, it's the exact same for Wednesday. Tuesday, Thursday is a little different. So we have lift in the morning. Um, I'll bring an extra shirt and my headphones and go straight from lift to crunch to again probably do incline walk since we just lifted.
I love
And
that.
then some deep core or a little extra this or that if I'm feeling it. Again, get back and then make breakfast, study for a couple hours, then go to practice, come home, eat, and then same, pretty much same exact routine. It's honestly like only having the one class. I do have the one class on Monday from 2 to 4:30. So if I have practice, I'll usually be a little late to practice on those days. Um, but and that's just Monday. But with my schedule and the way our practice is kind of set like right in the middle of the day,
Right,
I don't have too much time to kind of just do what I want. I mean, once I'm done studying, so once I take this exam in March, that's a little different. I have a lot more free time to do whatever. And I mean, I really like going to the beach over here. It's tough to go before practice. Usually on a Sunday is really nice to go.
right.
It's 10 minutes down the road. I don't like staying for too long. I don't like to bake in the sun. I like to get a good tan and leave. So I'll be out there for like an hour and a half, like 30 minutes each side, and then out.
I
But
feel that.
that's my typical like Monday through Thursday. And then once we start games, if we're home, I'll have the whole morning to do whatever, and then we play at 4 or 6, and we have to be there at 4. And then yeah, I mean it's really it's kind of boring honestly, but I mean it's what I need to do. I have to start apartment hunting though, so I have to try to find time to like throw that in there
Mhm.
and a bunch of other stuff like for to prep for moving. But I mean that's about it.
No, I love that. I love how descriptive you was. No question about that. And it's a favorite question of mine to ask because for free time as far as lift, like you go to crunch, you do extra, and I love that. I love the fact that you do extra. Some people have different times of lift, which I love that as well. I found it fascinating that you have a 6 hour, 110 question test that you got to prepare for. That is absolutely crazy. But shout out to the civil engineers. No question about that. Shout out to you because y'all are so needed in this world. My brother is actually my younger brother is actually an engineer himself. So he wants to be an engineer. So that's awesome. I love that. I want to ask you what do you have for breakfast? What do you normally make for yourself for breakfast?
Typically it's the same thing about every day. I'll have 3 scrambled eggs. I have a cutie that I like rip into, and then I have grapes right now, which I'll add on, which is nice because sometimes I eat the breakfast and I'm not full. Um, but
Yeah.
that's typically yeah, just the 3 scrambled eggs and the orange and the grapes and that. And then usually around for lunch, usually it's a turkey and cheese sandwich, like a lot of turkey though.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
then I like to slice up a pepper and have it with ranch. Or if I don't have that, I have these meatballs and
Mm.
they're really good. I air fry them for like 10 minutes. So I'll just eat like the meatballs with like Parmesan cheese on top, which sounds a little silly, but it's good. It gets the protein in. It keeps me full.
No,
Before
listen.
practice, before practice, I'll have some sort of either Kodiak or Cliff Bar to kind of give me an extra boost of energy before practice. Come home, have dinner, the same like taco bowl type of thing, and then for afterwards, I always need something after dinner, like whether it's like a sweet treat or not. Like right now, I'm still on my dried mango. I love my dried
Oh,
mango.
yes,
It's
yes,
amazing. I
yes.
have that, and then I also have these Yasso Greek yogurt bars.
Hmm.
They're like 100 calories a bar. It tastes just like ice cream. You couldn't tell the difference.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
but yeah.
That's pretty good. Okay. Now I love the dry mangoes because I'm really big on those. I love those a lot. So I'm with you on that one. Matter of fact, I was with you on everything that you said. So you said the pepper with the ranch. You threw me off for a loop right there. I was like, whoa,
Like
peppers
a
with
bell pepper
ranch?
with ranch?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave you on that boat by yourself. And you probably not on the boat by yourself. There's probably a whole bunch of people that like peppers with ranch. And listen, shout out to y'all. God bless y'all heart. But hell no, I'm not eating no pepper with no ranch. I like spice and I like hot food. I like a little kick to my food. I do. But yeah, no, I'm not gonna do that. But that's okay. I love that. I love the fact that you eat scrambled eggs. You have a routine. And
Hmm.
most sports people that I know have like routines. And even myself, I'm such a planner. I gotta plan stuff out because I cover hockey, I cover lacrosse, I cover college basketball, I do freelance, I also travel to also do events as well, and also do podcasting as well. So I'm such a planner to where I have to plan out my day. Are you like that? Do you have like a Google Calendar where you kind of have to plan out your day a little bit?
No, it's all in my head. I kind of like go through my day in my head and know everything I need to do and just kind of like hope I don't forget anything. Usually I don't forget anything. If there's
Yeah.
something that like needs to be like in advance, like I have a couple of sticky notes on my wall about like certain
Okay.
dates and stuff like that. Like I have to buy my cap and gown by this day or I have to do this
Sure.
by that day. So like
Sure.
stuff like that, I'll just like make a sticky note. But if it's like for the day, it's just off the dome.
I feel that. Okay. Now let me ask you about school life and also mental health. Now, mental health is definitely an important issue for me, and pretty much the entire world. It's just talking about it a lot more often. I know journalists have stepped away from my industry because their mental health was affected. I also know that in work-life balance and school-life balance, sometimes school can get overwhelming with the work and different things of that nature. Now, with you being a senior, the workload is going to be lessened because you're almost at the very end. But talk to me now about your mental health and how you've kept it strong and not have to, go through the instances of, excuse me, of being overwhelmed or burnt out.
Oh, well, I definitely wasn't strong my freshman year. Coming into school, freshman year, the fall was fine, obviously, with everything that happened with my mom.
Right.
That really took a hit, and that my mental health was rock bottom for
Hmm.
the longest time. I would sit in class and I'd get overwhelmed just being in the classroom. I'd leave, and all my professors knew about it, and like I would just walk out. Um, it was rough for a long time. Came back sophomore year and was really trying. It was still a lot, even that fall semester. It really took me probably a solid year from when she had first passed to even start to be okay all the time.
Sure.
So really, when I got to my sophomore spring, I was really trying to focus on just being like present and like when I was playing, which was honestly super hard, with training and everything like that, because my schedule did not allow for me to be at practice at all. My coach
Sure.
hated my schedule up until this semester because in the spring of my sophomore year, I
Hmm.
wasn't at a practice in the spring ever. I was either showing up for the last 30 minutes or I had to leave within the first 30 minutes to go to class. Like that was it. And so I was always doing one-on-ones with my assistant coach, and that really helped me through a lot. I think my assistant coach was a big step in really helping me like become better mentally.
Okay.
Um but performance has always been like an issue. Like for me growing up, if I wasn't performing well, I'd get in my head, and that was a big thing. And so even like if like my coach was helping me out with that, my performance took a long time to get back to where I was because when everything happened, it felt like I forgot how to play softball in a sense. I
Right.
forgot at least the hitting side of it because that's all mental. I felt like I couldn't hit at all, and building that back was definitely took a long time. Last year, I actually got a sports psychologist, and I was speaking to him every couple of weeks, and that was fantastic. I love him. Um, he really helped get me through a lot of like, it really helped break down some like barriers and like help me focus on like the positive and a great mindset and all of that. My
Right.
boyfriend helped a lot with that too, and everything. But I really think it took a turn my senior year. Like this year was like I have never felt more mentally strong than I have right now. And I truly think that's started with like pursuing everything else that I'm gonna be pursuing. Like I softball is not forever. And so as I was doing my fall internship and I was applying to jobs and interviewing, I was realizing that like the softball is not obviously I knew softball is not forever, but I was thinking about it. And I'm like, I want to be able to look back 5 years from now and remember having so much fun playing softball. I don't want to come back
Yeah.
and think like I was so mad because I struck out on a drop ball or something like that, or I made an error and I was mad about it. And like that, like once everything became real, like I'm doing things after softball and getting that job and all that, that really put it all into perspective of like there is so much more afterwards, and I want to be able to look back to like this moment in my life and enjoy it and be happy about it. And that really is what like almost it was like a switch. It just clicked. I don't know, like there was nothing I could really do that like made that happen. I'm so
Right.
glad it did happen.
Yeah.
And I even talked to my sports psychologist about it the other day because I hadn't spoken to him in probably a couple months because I had a killer fall, and then I would always get nervous coming back for the spring that I'd lose it after like the last couple years. And so I talked with him and he kind of reassured, and I explained to him all this and he was super happy, and I'm just super happy that I'm able to kind of be where I'm at now. And I'm really trying to help like the younger girls too understand that, but it's something that like you can say it a million times over, but until you actually like feel it or live it, it's not going to click. But
No, I
yeah.
love that. I love that, Miranda. I really do. And again, I appreciate your transparency of just talking because it's an important question to ask, right? And part of that has to do with the maturation of yourself, right? You've been in college for a few years now. You've dealt with some tough things early on, obviously with your mother passing, obviously with softball, you being hard on yourself. You also have classes. Your class schedule wasn't aligning with the practice schedule, but you had understanding people such as your coaches being like, I'll work with you one-on-ones. I'll work with you. We want you on this team. And it really feels good to be wanted, right? It really feels good when people are making accommodations for you and when people are just doing things to help you be a better person. And it also is shown in your play. Each year you've gotten better in the sport of softball as far as your statistics go. As I've,
Yeah.
doing my background is you've just gotten more comfortable. Naturally, when you get older, you get more comfortable within yourself. You get more confident within yourself. You're able to make decisions at a more decisive rate and you're not waffling on decisions like that. Like when you talk about softball not being forever, that seems to me, and maybe, and please correct me if I'm wrong, it seems to me that that had to come too. Like that was something that you finally accepted. Like it wasn't one of those things that you knew right off the bat. Oh man, like, softball isn't forever, but man, you love playing it so much that it gets to a point where you don't start really thinking about, man, softball is really coming to an end until you
Yeah.
start getting to the end, right? So I love that. I love the fact that you did that. And you kind of took my next question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. And that's you being a senior now, right? You being an upperclassman. There's gonna be younger players. There's gonna be coming on the team. What is some advice that you give some of those younger players, or maybe even high schoolers that want to come in to play a sport? I know high schoolers come to your game sometimes as well, and maybe there might be somebody that pull you to the side and say, "Hey, Miranda, I want to talk to you." What kind of advice would you give them about being a student athlete and especially being on the softball team?
For being on the softball team for starters, I know a big thing is just like trusting in your abilities. That's a big one for me. It's just like you're there for a reason. Like obviously you're not gonna perform well all the time. and you're gonna want your coach is looking to see how you react, how you bounce back. Our coach is big on no reactions, like strikeout. She doesn't want to see you slamming your helmet. She wants to. We have this rule where if you strike out or if you have a bad at bat and you walk back to the dugout, if your helmet's on, no one talks to you. Right, that's your time to kind of process it, and then once the helmet's off, you're back focused on the team. And so I think the big thing with her is just like being able to kind of bounce back. How do you react? How do you adapt to
Hmm.
all of that? And for me, I tell some of the girls like I know sometimes it can be tough with school and softball, and especially we have a lot of younger girls right now, and so a lot of them are unfortunately on the bench for a little bit. I was lucky enough to have never been through that. I was a starter since game one. I've never not started here, which
Hmm.
I am truly grateful for.
Hmm.
Um, and just telling them like just trust that coach is doing what she wants to, what she needs to do for the team, and eventually you will be in that. You will be on that starting field. But right
Hmm.
now, like this is like a team sport, and you have to buy in, even if your role is not starting on the field. Um, for student athletes and like the school combined, probably using your resources, using your teammates. When I first came in my freshman year, we all kind of talked and found the similar majors in our team. And actually, us civil engineers have two traveling filing cabinets full
Wow.
of work from
Okay.
the last probably 10 years, 10 to 15 years. And I remember last year we were in Alabama and I was doing this timber structures class, and I had homework that I was copying, but it was from like 2014. It was like
Hmm.
10 years prior, the same exact homework questions, the same exact everything. And
Wow.
so just really using your resources, using your people, asking who to take, asking any questions you have. I still talk to some of the girls that have graduated that were civil engineers. I've been talking to them about this exam and still using them as resources as I can. So,
Hmm.
I think that would be the biggest one. That and just time management. That's crucial.
It
I've
is
always been pretty
very
good with time management. I like doing stuff ahead of time. Some people don't, and that's perfectly fine. Just as
right.
long as you stay on top of it and you got to be organized because you have softball that's going to take up so much time. Luckily, you have like van rides and stuff like that that you have like a couple hours where you can do that work while you're traveling, but definitely just time management and use the people around you.
Mm, I love that. I do. Now, what would you say your leadership style is like? You know, being a senior, you're definitely one of the leaders of the team. There's no question about that. So what is your leadership style, differentiate with each player? Because some players don't respond to, rah-rah, get in your face, motivate them. Some players are very quiet, some players are very timid, some players do respond. I was always a player that if you yelled, it got me more motivated because it showed that you care as much as I do. But as a leader, you have to kind of differentiate and you got to kind of tap into many people. And I think that's one of the main things that I like to do when I'm around. There's not a crowd that I ever feel that I can't relate to. What would you say is your leadership style?
So I am definitely not the rah rah get in your face type of girl at
Hmm.
all. I actually don't like when people do that to me at all. It actually makes me
Hmm.
very mad. I had a debacle with my roommate early in this fall. In the fall weight room, she got in my face about like lifting the weights, and I had to talk to her on the side, and I was like, "You can't do that. That's just gonna piss me off."
Right.
Um, I am personally much more of the quiet. I'm a quiet person personally, but I don't
Mm.
feel like that takes away from my leadership at all.
Mm.
I'm definitely more quiet and focused, and um, I I believe I talk to the team. I'm very composed. I think that's where a lot
Okay.
of my leadership comes from. I'm very composed. I'm very confident. I think I lead by example more so than kind of like egg people on to like kind of get with it.
For sure.
Um, I'm much more of like a talker, like talk people up confidently, pull them aside one by one, depending on like, because like you said, people do have to be treated differently. Like some people react to this, some people react to that. Some people are react differently in a sense where like they get very overwhelmed and they need something different than what other people need. But I think my leadership style is more like I said, leading. I think I lead by example, and then whenever like we have issues or something, it's just call a meeting, get everyone in there, let's talk it out, hash it out, everything we need to do, and then kind of get back on track.
Okay.
We do have a lot of high energy in the dugout on the team.
Yeah.
That does come from a lot of our younger girls, and which I mean is super great. And sometimes I feel a little old because like they try to get me into it, and I mean they do this thing. It's like wig the fifth. Our coach is from Argentina, and she always says win the fifth, and she has this accent when she says it. And our team likes to do wig the fifth now, and they can't get me to wear a wig. I won't do it. um,
Come
I
on,
don't know.
Miranda.
Part of me feels like when everything happened with my mom, it kind of took a little piece of like childhood or like kind of fun out of me. Not that I'm not fun. I think I am fun. But
Yeah. Yeah,
that
absolutely.
little bit extra like maybe there was there before that like I feel I had to mature very quickly, and I feel like that probably does show. But regardless of that, I mean, I'm always in it. Like I'll be laughing with them and all of that whenever they're doing the silly stuff like that. We have a fun sock Friday. They're trying to get me in on. It's our last Friday, so I told them I'd do it on this Friday. But yeah, no, definitely a little more. I feel like it's a little more like lead by example. Like you see, like those people. Like I mean, I'm not a Yankee fan, so don't quote me on this. But I mean, you see like people like Stan, and Stan's not this big get in your face kind of guy. He's kind of like he knows how good he is. He's confident. He holds himself up with pride, and I feel like I match that a lot whenever I'm in the box, whenever I'm playing, and I feel like that's kind of where my leadership comes from.
Hmm.
And then whenever like there's like we need to call a meeting or stuff like that, I feel like I'm very good at like kind of talking everyone down, kind of getting us back where we need to be, and then letting everyone kind of run from there.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. It's never easy being the leader. It's never easy. When you, especially when you have a team full of young players that's just, enthusiastic, they're
Hmm.
vibrant, they're playing, they're just playing because of the love of the game, but
Yeah,
their understanding of the game is not on the same level as yours, right?
we got
So,
27, and I think we have nine juniors and seniors total, and only two seniors. So
wow.
you
So
got a lot of freshmen and sophomores, a lot of them.
absolutely. And look at you guys. You guys are off to a 3-1-1 start, which is a great segue to my next question because we talked about this offline. How in the hell do you have a tie in a softball game? We have got you, we talked about this, but I want you to tell the viewers that's going to be viewing this podcast, how does a team tie in a softball game and not have an outcome of a winner or a loser? Please elaborate.
So this was a very special circumstance. We ended up flying into Gulf Shores. Well, we flew to Pensacola, and then
Right.
it's about an hour drive to Gulf Shores from there where we were playing. That game was supposed to start at 12:15. We were supposed to play West Alabama, but West Alabama's game took quite a while. They didn't finish till about 12:30, and the umpires need time between the games to kind of go use the bathroom, have a snack. They need to redo the field and all of that. So we didn't get started till about 1 o'clock, and we had a drop dead of 2:30 no matter what because we had to leave the field by 2:45 to then drive an hour to Pensacola to get there on 3:45. Our plane started boarding at 4:40, so that gives us like a little bit of time to get through security and like
Hmm.
relax before our flight.
Hmm.
um so the drop dead was 2:30. Unfortunately, we did not get to finish the game, which was very upsetting. They did say 4.5. We had to play 4.5 for it to be a complete game. So we did get through. I think it was 5.5,
Hmm.
and so it was a complete game. So that's how that ended in a tie. And unfortunately, we did have to leave after that, which was really upsetting. 'Cause I really wanted to hit again. I was feeling really good. Everyone wanted to hit again. The game was such a good game, but
Right. Right.
Yeah, the coach on the other team, she knew that we had to leave, but she wasn't happy. I think she wasn't happy because it ended in a tie.
For sure. For sure.
But
I mean, whoever, I know you're not happy. Your coach is not happy. The player's not happy. Anybody who's a competitive person, don't nobody want no damn ties. We listen, we win, we lose, we shake hands, we do what we do. But at the end of the day, a tie is like almost worse than a loss, in my opinion, because it's like, bro, I want to see who's better. Who's better that
yeah,
day? Is it going to be me? Is it going to be you? But at the same time, circumstances are circumstances, and that was a very rare circumstance. I've never heard of a tie in a softball type of game, but I love that story. I think that's just so crazy but funny at the same time. But we have came to the portion of the podcast now that we're going to play my interactive game, Miranda, and it's called This or That. So it's a game I like to play with all my guests here on the Work Hard, Play Harder podcast, and it's very simple. I'm going to throw some things at you, and you get to choose this or that. So, are you ready?
yeah.
All right, here we go. Out of these two restaurants, which one are you going to walk into and sit down and eat at if you had a choice? Texas Roadhouse or Longhorn Steakhouse?
I gotta go Longhorn, and there's a funny story behind this.
Talk to me. Talk to
So
me.
my dad, after my mom passed, was obviously going through it. We have a Longhorn right by the house, and I love the Texas Roadhouse rolls, and I love their Caesar salad because the Caesar dressing. I don't know if you've had it. It's the best Caesar dressing I think I've ever had. If you haven't had
Absolutely.
it, you gotta try it. It's amazing.
Yes, it
But
is.
we were at he would always go in there. He'd always have drinks, just kind of sit at the bar by himself, have some drinks. He went so much that he is now the 2024 honorary customer of the year at the Longhorn at our house, which is crazy, a crazy accomplishment and a little sad, but he knows it too. But
Wow.
so
Okay.
we go there all the time. We know all the bartenders, we know all the management. So I go there with my dad a lot. We'll sit there, have a good time, talk to the bartenders. And yeah, so I mean, I think I like the food at. I mean, I like the Caesar salad more at Church Roadhouse, but that's probably about it. I think Longhorn has the better food, but that's the little story behind that.
That is awesome. Shout out to your dad for going that many times to Longhorns. I don't know how many times you have to go to Longhorns to be an honorary like
They have a
customer.
customer of the year every year, and
Wow.
that year he was. It was a lot.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
Well,
I was never home. I just hear from my brother because I have a twin brother at home, and he would call
mm,
me and be like, "He's at Longhorn again." Like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm
right,
at
right.
school.
Right, like just let him be at that point,
Yeah.
let him do his thing. I love that. But shout out to your dad. He sounds like a pretty cool person too, so that's awesome. I love that. We talked about it before. You like wings. I like wings. When it comes to wings, out of these two flavors, which flavor are you rather putting on the wing? Barbecue or lemon pepper?
Lemon pepper,
Do you like your wings wet or dry?
preferably dry.
Do you like your wings bone in or boneless?
Oof. I'm gonna go bone in. I used to be a big boneless girly, and then I mean, the more you eat wings, the more you have bone in, and then you're just used to it.
I feel that. Now, let me ask you, are you a dipper into ranch? Do you dip your wings in the ranch?
Depends on the wing. If I'm having like a garlic parm, no. If I'm having like a if I'm having like a hot wing or
Lemon pepper.
lemon pepper, I might try one, see how it goes. I don't think I've had lemon pepper in ranch, so I think I gotta try it once and then
Okay.
see if I like it better with or without.
Garlic parmesan is a close third, but I also like my buffalo. I don't know if you're a huge buffalo person,
I
but
do like a buffalo.
okay,
I'm a
got you.
big dry rub fan. I love a good dry rub on there.
Okay, okay. Now I could probably eat about 15 to 20 if we just talking wings. Now, if you throw some fries into there, I'm about 10 to 15, 10 to 15 max for me. I don't know about you, but I can definitely slam down some wings, flats, drums. I don't care what it is. I can do that
Yeah.
for
I'm
sure.
definitely more of a drumstick person than a flat person. I can do both. I can put them down. I don't know how many. I've never counted. but
Mm.
I could probably be in that same ballpark for
Oh,
sure.
okay, now I'm gonna put you to the test on that. One of these days, I'm gonna put you to the test on that for sure, Miranda. No question. Okay, I'm with you on that. These next four questions have to do with music concerts you rather attend. Okay, so first music concert. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Beyonce or Rihanna?
Beyonce.
Okay, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. Part of the Beehive. Which music concert would you rather go see? Usher or Chris Brown?
Usher.
Oh, you said that real convincing. Okay, okay. I like both of them, but Usher, I ain't mad at you. Usher is very good live for sure. Which music concert would you rather go see? Would you rather go see Morgan Wallen or would you rather see Carrie Underwood?
Morgan Wallen. For sure.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you are not a Carrie Underwood fan.
Not really.
I figured that. I figured that. Okay, I'm with you on that. Last one of the music. Which music concert would you rather go see? Zach Brown Band or Lady A?
Zach Brown band.
Okay, a little bit of chicken fried. Okay, so you like Zach Brown Band. Okay, I cannot wait till they come up here because I'm actually a huge fan of theirs. I'm definitely gonna go to their concert for sure. No question about that. Okay, let's go back to sports. Which sport would you rather watch on TV? Would you rather watch hockey or would you rather watch basketball?
Hockey.
Is there any way that I can convert you over to being just a tidbit of a basketball fan?
I can watch it. It's just not. I mean, my brother's into hockey. He loves hockey. I don't know where the hell it came from. It's crazy, but he is the biggest hockey fan I know. He has like 20 different jerseys hung up in his room, and it just came out of nowhere. And so I've gotten into like watching it a little bit.
Yeah.
I can watch basketball. It's just if it's on, it's on. But if I
Okay.
have my choice, it's probably the last one.
And that's okay. Listen, I'm gonna work on you a little bit because basketball is my favorite sport. I'm not gonna take you away from baseball because baseball is a great sport to have and football is too. Shout out to your brother because I'm a huge hockey fan as well. He knows good sports. Hockey is a great sport, but basketball, yes, would definitely be my favorite. But I wanted to ask that. Now, if we're playing sports, out of these two, which sport would you rather play? Badminton or bowling?
Bowling.
Are you a good bowler?
Yeah, I like to think so. I like to think so.
Yeah, Miranda, I'm calling cap on that. I am calling cap. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one. What's your highest score?
Think I got a 256 one time.
Okay, okay. Um, yeah, that's
That's the
pretty
highest
good.
I've ever gotten though.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
good. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna move on.
Usually it takes me at least one game to get warm. I usually have my first game's terrible, and then after that, I get up there pretty. Usually I'm in the low twos, but that was just a game
well, got you. And do you got some spin to your ball? Now this is without the bumpers, right?
without the bumpers. Yeah,
Okay, I just want listen. I want to make sure because there have been some people that came on this platform that said they need the bumpers to be able to bowl, and I said I'm gonna need you to go to the other lane because I can't have you. I can't have you on my lane, not with the
yeah,
bumpers. Okay, I feel you on that. Do you like desserts?
of course.
Okay, so I'm gonna name four categories of desserts. You have to choose one of these that you would never eat again, that you would
Okay,
eliminate. Okay, so here we go. First category is going to be ice cream. The second category is cookies. The third category is grouped together. So it's pies slash cakes. The last category is candy. Which one are you getting rid of?
I think I'm getting rid of candy.
Girl, you on point like a period. That's what I would say.
The
Ain't
only
no question.
candy I truly love is Hershey Kisses. Like I just love the plain Hershey Kisses, and that's like I can eat other candy, but I mean that is one that's hard to steer clear of. But I mean I think I'd steer clear of that versus anything else. So
Okay. No, I'm in agreement with you. You ain't got to sweet talk me. No pun intended. I'm with you on that. But tell me, what is your favorite ice cream?
Um, so I love anything chocolate personally. Like the more chocolate the better. That or a good cookies and cream. But I cannot do a peanut butter. So I can't do like a Rocky Road. I'm not a peanut butter fan. So any of those chocolates that have peanut butter in it, I'm out. But if it has like those double fudge or like those multi layers of chocolate like I like that.
Well, you already mentioned my favorite ice cream, so girl, we definitely could be besties. There's no question about that. You said cookies and cream, and I love that. That is my favorite ice cream. I get the Breyers Oreos, as you know, the blue box all the time when you see it in the stores. That's what I get. Or if I'm really, really feeling it, I get the big ass tub of cookies and cream. No question
Yeah.
about it. And I'm kind of crazy with it because I'll get the double stuffed Oreos on top of the cookies and cream, and I'll get about 4 or 5 of those, and I'll crush it into the bowl. And
Have
I'll
you
have,
had the have you ever done you get the Oreos and you like mash them up and you throw them into this big thing of whipped cream and you
yep,
mix it all in? That's I love that.
hell yeah, I've definitely done that. Yes, several times. I'm talking about Cool Whip, whipped
Mhm.
cream. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
that's what you're talking about. Okay, cool, cool. We on the same page, girl. I'm with you on that. Now, do you like potato chips?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the same format. I'm gonna name 4 brands. You got to choose one of these to get rid of. So here we go.
Okay.
First brand is Pringles. Okay. The next brand is going to be Doritos. The next brand is going to be Lay's. The last brand is Ruffles. Which one are you getting rid
Pringles.
of?
Pringles.
Okay, okay, okay. Now, let me ask you. If we walk into a grocery store together and I say, Miranda, go to the chip aisle and buy your favorite chip to eat, you are buying what?
Is it like a chip or is it like I have these simply they're like the simply white cheddar Cheeto puffs. And those are by far I have them in my cabinet. I just got them. They are by far like my favorite like chip to eat. They're just these corn white cheddar puffs. And they're just super addicting and super good.
Mm.
And they're super light, like low calorie too, which is helps a lot too. But those are my favorite by far.
Okay, I don't think I've ever tried those, but I would definitely be intrigued because
Hmm.
anything white cheddar, I would definitely love to check that out for sure. I'm a huge Ruffles sour cream and cheddar. That's my favorite chip for sure, no question. So I love those. Okay, okay, you did very good on this or that. You was very decisive. I love that, Miranda. I love that, and it was awesome. Okay, so now let's transition back to bucket list. This is what this question is called. And the reason why it's called bucket list is because I want you to speak it into existence. Give me a top 4 of things you would like to do in your career that you haven't done yet, or you can give me a top 4 of opponents that you would like to face this particular season that is on the schedule. Either one.
Um, I know one for sure is I want the career home run record. I am 5 away from tying, 6 away from taking it.
Mm,
And so that is big on my list. Another one that just came up was hit by pitches. I am second in place for hit by pitches in my career.
wow.
I don't care if I get this record or not, but I fear that our media guy has spoken it into existence as I got hit in 3 out of the 5 games this past weekend.
Yeah.
And so now I need like 9 more hit by pitches to get the record, and which is a little terrifying.
Right.
Um,
Right.
but there's that. I would love to make first team all conference and all defensive team as well. I made all
Okay.
defensive team my sophomore year, and I really feel like this year I'm just gonna like blow up and I'm gonna ball out, and I really think that I can make both of those. And
Okay.
another one would be really cool is we have these awards at the end of the year, and I would love to like be nominated for like if I can get like the um female athlete of the year or some sort of award there. I mean, that would be super cool. Obviously, like to win it would be amazing, but to even just be nominated for it, because I mean, usually it's like 5 or 6 girls. I mean, that would be amazing as well.
Yeah. if I'm not mistaken, you had a career best 31 RBIs last season. So you was hitting the hell out of the ball all over the
Yeah.
place. And you had I think either 6 or 7 home runs, but I think you upped your home
6.
runs from the previous year. If I'm oh
Mm-mm.
you didn't. You didn't.
It was 266.
Oh, so it's 266. Okay, so that's a total of
Hmm.
14 in
Yeah.
your 3 seasons. And I'm
Yeah.
not sure
And
if
I
you
had one last weekend.
Wow, so 15 home runs. So you're saying that 21 home runs would be the record.
Hmm.
Wow. And obviously I'm a new fan of yours, so I'm definitely gonna have to check out more of your games to see if you do get close to that record. But let me ask you, is teams pitching you differently because of the fact that you're coming in this season as a senior, they've seen you 3 years in a row. I don't know if you're hitting differently in the lineup. Maybe if your coach is putting you in different spots, but do you feel like teams are pitching you differently?
Well, this year I don't know because we haven't played yet. But I know against we played AUM and they put in a pitcher who I had a home run against last year, and she
Hmm.
did pitch me way up instead of pitching me low because I had a home run against her and it was low and in,
Hmm.
and she threw me out rise. Well, she actually ended up hitting me.
Got
So,
you. Got you.
but I'm hitting in the same spot. I'm hitting 4. I figured out over the weekend after the first game, I went 0 for 3, a couple strikeouts. It was rough, but my last at bat was against that girl that hit me, and I was like, I just need to track the dang ball. Like I'm not tracking it. So I tracked all the way to the glove, and I realized I haven't been tracking the ball this whole time. I
Right.
felt so stupid. Like, this is something that you're taught when you're like 5 to track the ball all the way to the glove, and I was not doing it. And
Right.
then my performance just made a 180, and I don't even think I may not have been tracking before, like the last couple of years. Like I'm watching it in, but I don't think I'm watching it all the way to the glove.
Hmm.
And so, um, I don't feel like I'm being pitched very differently at all, but I feel like I am gonna like light up this year a lot, no matter what. I noticed the adjustments being made on me. Like we faced a team and they were throwing me all slow and away, and I made the adjustment on it.
Hmm.
And so I'm really not too worried about any of that, but I really don't feel like any teams have pitched me much differently at all,
Right.
which I think is kind of crazy. But I usually try to attack early so they don't really get deep in the count to pitch me differently.
That's true. True too. And I was just about to ask that. You took it out. You took the words out of my mouth. 'Cause I figured you would probably attack early because normally when they see somebody for years and years and they pitch differently, you don't want to sit back and be on your heels. You want to attack
Yeah.
because you know you're not going to get many pitches, right? But what position do you play in the infield? It just says infielder. What position do you play? Do you play multiple positions in the infield?
No, I just play third base and third base only.
Third base only. Okay, got you. Now, I want to know what is some advice? Because we talked about advice you would give someone, but what is some advice that someone has gave you that you hold on dearly to?
Advice that I was given. Um, One thing for me, on bunt situations, it was
Hmm.
my coach when I was growing up. She always told me if you see someone like square for a bunt, you don't sprint. You creep until that ball's on the ground. And once that ball's on the ground, then you sprint. And
Mm.
that's just like playing wise, something that I've always remembered and stuck by. Um, I didn't really have a lot of advice. I had a lot of action, and I had a coach. She would be halfway down the line and she would just rip balls at me, like rip them, and I just had to react. And so like just not being afraid of the ball, having quick reaction time. That's about it. But never really given too much advice. Like I said earlier in the when you'd asked, I didn't really have many people I looked up to in the softball community.
Hmm.
um just I don't know, I never had that person at least like at a space ahead of me. I don't know if it's because I don't want to sound cocky here, but I don't know if it's because like I always played, I always started, was never the one sitting waiting to play, like trying to like learn from the ones in front of me, which I'm grateful that I've been able to start
Right.
my entire career. But maybe that's why I don't have as much of like a role model per se or advice.
Hmm.
But I've gotten advice from girls like about the game itself, just like I said earlier, it's like enjoy it because it's not gonna last forever and stuff like that. But like for third base specific, not really much.
Okay. Okay, I'm with you on that. I can rock with you on that. I got two more for you. Now this next one is called just five questions about teammates. And listen, the main thing is I just want you to answer these as truthful as possible. Okay, so here we go. Who's the best singer on the team?
Oh, I wish you asked me this last year. We had a girl, she was actually really good. Her name was Alex. She was
Mm,
such a good singer, and she's not here anymore. This year, I
mm.
have no idea. But can I say Alex from last year? Can that count?
You can
Okay.
absolutely say if the girls, everybody on the team is going out to eat, who is the first one of the girls that will buy something for someone or pick up, will buy someone's meal?
Um, I'd probably say our other senior, either me or our other senior Ella. I don't know if it's just a seniority thing, but I feel like we both just like we're both pretty we're okay. Like we're not obviously we're in college. We're not like we're not working right now, and so
Sure.
but I feel like just that kind of like that senior like need or want to be able to help out the younger that are like might need it. So I would say either me or her, honestly.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, let me ask you this. Who is the most competitive when it comes to board games on the team?
My roommate's name is Brooklyn, and she is the most intense person I have ever met in my entire life. Um, she puts everything into everything that she does, whether it's like, stupid card games. Remember we were playing this card game at the beginning of the fall, and she's sitting there, her like eyes are wide. She's like sitting there ready to like hit the table whenever like the card came up.
Mm.
She's definitely the most like aggressive, competitive person
I
for
love it.
board games and everything else in life.
I love that. I love it. Now, when practice is scheduled, who is the teammate that is always running close to being late or a little late?
So I have another roommate. Her name is Sage, and she does tend. We always have like weights in the morning, and we used to all drive together. And I soon realized you are cutting it really, really close to getting to weights on time. She's always there on time, but I mean, I just don't like being there last minute.
Sure.
Practice
Yeah.
itself is a little hard because people come and go from class and stuff like that. But I know for like weight specifically, she is always like cutting it really close, and I'm just not a big fan of that.
Okay. Okay. Who is the best dancer on the team?
Hmm.
Someone that can bust a move on the team.
Um, one of our girls, Chloe, is pretty good at just dancing in general. I mean, a lot of it's like TikTok dances and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
probably her for sure.
Okay, that's pretty awesome. Now, I do have a bonus one, and this one's about music. Who has the best playlist of music?
Her name's Jill, and she runs our lift playlist. She runs our team playlist at practice. Whenever we have the speaker, it's Jill on the speaker. So,
Okay. Well, shout out to all those wonderful teammates that you have, no doubt about it, and the two seniors, yourself and Ella, if I believe that's what her name was, Ella.
hmm
Shout out to you two as well for being wonderful leaders. Now, this last question is not really a question, but it's called rapid fire. Okay, and I'm gonna get you out of here on this. And what rapid fire is it's a little bit different than this or that. This is the first thing that comes to your mind. So basically what you did before, okay? I want you to shout it out with glee. Okay, so here we go. Pancakes or waffles?
pancakes,
Okay, chicken or ribs,
chicken,
juice or soda,
juice,
favorite color,
blue.
favorite Netflix TV series or television show on television.
Uh, um, Probably. Blinking. I have it in my head. Grey's Anatomy.
Oh my Lord. Oh, you one of those. The Grey's and that.
That got me through my freshman year. I binged the whole 19 seasons in 2 months.
Okay. Miranda, I gotta put you on the couch. We gotta talk. That's a lot of seasons.
Well, it was after everything with my mom. I would just sit in my room and watch it until like 2 in the morning, and just because I was I don't know. It just got me. It got me through it.
I got you. And see, when you say that, then I gotta let it breathe. I gotta let
Yeah,
it
I
breathe.
wasn't one of those that would watch it like for like long periods of time. I banged it out in 2 months and I was done with it. I haven't watched any new episodes or seasons that it came out. It
Sure.
was just I also like watching TV when I do homework. And so I have it on the background. So it was like one of those I had on in the background because it's a long show. I didn't have to find a
It
new show.
is. It is. That is true. Okay, I got you. Favorite sandwich?
Turkey and cheese with bacon
Okay.
and lettuce.
Mm. Oh, that's very good. I like that. Favorite board game?
Board game. Monopoly.
Oh, I'm a beast when I get bored walking Park Place, girl. I be killing people with the hotels. I really do. Okay, here we go. Favorite card game?
Probably War. Oh no,
Okay.
Gin Rummy. That War was the first. Gin Rummy.
Ooh,
War was the first
ooh.
thing that came to mind. Gin Rummy is much better.
Jim Rummy is better. War is very violent. It could
Hmm
be that slamming of the table that can get violent. Okay, here we go. Favorite, I would say, I think I can ask this now. Favorite alcoholic drink?
Vodka cranberry.
Ooh, okay. Are we talking Casamigos? Uh are we talking Ciroc? What kind of vodka are we talking about?
Just whatever they give me. I really don't know.
I like
I
okay,
did
I
have
like
this wine. I had this
mm,
wine. I was up in Philly in December and we did a bar crawl, and it was this Livingston Moscato, and this was the best wine by far I've tasted. And I've yet to find it anywhere else again.
you're
It's been
not
really frustrating.
you're not gonna find it anywhere. Philly makes some damn good Moscato. I know about that because my uncle and aunt is from Philadelphia, and they're huge Eagles fans. They keep telling me to come up to the vet and go to an Eagles game. I'm like, I, I'm scared. I'm actually scared to go there because I don't know.
That
you know what I mean?
you don't want them to lose. That's why I was so happy when I went. They won. I was
Mm-hmm.
terrified for the atmosphere if they had lost.
Yeah, my uncle and my aunt, they're huge Eagles fans. Grew up in Philadelphia, and they're probably going to drag me to a game next year at some point for
It's
sure.
really fun. I recommend it for
Oh,
sure.
okay, no doubt, no doubt. Now, if you had a choice to choose three people with you, so it's three plus one equaling four to go with you on vacation, who would you choose and where would you go? Now, Miranda, before you choose, you could choose friends, family, or celebrities.
Okay. Okay. So is boyfriend not included in that?
Yeah, if you want to
Okay.
bring them, please.
Probably him for one. Um, family, friends, or celebrity.
Yeah, you can choose
I'm
all,
probably gonna have
all,
to go
all
celebrity
those.
route.
Okay.
Um, ooh. Cooper DeJean from the Eagles. Big fan. I I have a funny story about that too, and after I say this last one, I'll come back to it. And
Okay.
probably, um, I'm gonna go with David Ortiz. I want to say Mookie Betts. I think David Ortiz would be more fun of a time.
He would be more fun. There's no question about that. Now, please
Hmm
tell me the funny story about Coop.
So, obviously, like, my boyfriend got me into the Eagles and everything, and that was when Coop was a rookie, and he was like the only white cornerback playing in the NFL, and he was
Hmm.
just balling out. He was like tackling like Derrick Henry, and it was crazy, and I just like really like caught my eye, and I was like, damn, like this guy's good, and then I was like, damn, this guy also looks really good, and my dad, I told him about it, and he went to a bar. He went to like a Miller's Ale House near our house just
Hmm.
to watch the game. He's a big Patriots fan, and of course it's Sunday, so like all the waiters and waitresses are wearing like their jerseys. So I'm home. I'm just watching TV. I just got back from the gym. I'm tired. I don't want to do anything at all. I'm exhausted. I'm
Sure.
just watching the game on the TV. Um, my dad calls me up. He was like, "Hey, if I want, like, asked you to come down in like an hour to hang out for a little bit and like maybe have a drink with me, would you?" And I was like, "Maybe." And I was just saying maybe because I wanted to be nice. I really didn't want to go.
Right.
Um, and then he calls me like 25 minutes later. He's like, "All right, come down. Just come down for a little bit." And I was like, "Okay, like I don't want to drink much. I don't want to stay there very long." He's like, "That's fine. That's fine. Just come down." So I go down there. And I walk in, there's this woman sitting next to my dad, I don't know, and she's like, um, She's like, "Hi, my name is Candy," and I was like, "Hi," and then she scoots over. She's like, "Oh, here's your seat," and I was like, "Oh, well, you forgot like your jersey. Your jersey's hanging on the back of her seat." And she's like, "No, that's yours. Your dad got it for you." And it's a Cooper's
Oh,
jean jersey, authentic, not
wow.
like authentic with like the Super Bowl patch and everything. And
Right.
I'm like, where did you get this? It's the Kelly green. It's nice. Like it's everything's like stitched. It's like it's perfect. And he's like, one of the waitresses was wearing it, and I saw her, and I was like, I really like your jersey. How much do you want for it? And he bought it off of the waitress, like on like point blank, like right then and there. The
Wow.
waitress's boyfriend was at the bar, had to go home and get her another jersey to wear.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
yeah,
Well, shout out to your dad, man, stepping up paying them bills like that. I like that. He realized, listen, hey, my baby will look good in this coupe jersey. Let me get that from you. He did the damn thing. I love that.
yeah.
Now, listen, I'm a real quick before I get back to the rapid fire. I had an opportunity. I was blessed enough last year to go to the Super Bowl and cover the Super Bowl as a reporter. So seeing the Chiefs and the Eagles there, Cooper's a big fella.
Mhm.
He's a big fella. No question
Yeah.
about that. He's a lot bigger than what I thought he was, because but them Iowa boys, they built a little bit different. They built a little bit different out there. So I got a chance to see him up close and personal, and I was like, man. And when he was running that interception back, that's when I saw. I was like, wow, okay, he pretty stout. He pretty stout, because we rarely got a chance to get one-on-ones with them, because he wasn't one of the people that was on the podium for opening night. I think they had Jalen Hurts, they had Saquon, AJ Brown,
Mhm.
Devontae. Obviously, they had all them, but he wasn't one of those. And it was hard to get to him because the rest of the players were walking around the media space. And I just thought it was so cool how everybody was surrounding him at that time. I couldn't get no interview with him, but did talk to a lot of other players there. That was just a surreal experience being there at the Super Bowl with him, though, with the
Yeah.
Eagles. That was pretty cool. So yeah, that's pretty dope. I like that. If you had a choice to listen to three songs or three artists on repeat and never get tired of, who would those three artists or three songs be?
Three artists. I probably have to. I'm gonna diversify a lot. I'm gonna go Zach Bryan. I'm gonna go
Hmm.
Billy Joel.
Hmm.
And then for the third, I'm gonna go. This is the out of nowhere. I'm gonna go Chemical Romance.
Wow, that is definitely three ends of the spectrum right there. You went
Mm-hmm.
all over the place, girl. I'm with you on that, but it's good to differentiate. It's good to differentiate. So that's true. I love that. If you had to pick an occupation outside of civil engineering that you would thrive in, what occupation would you choose?
Social work.
Social work. Okay, I
I always
like
wanted to
that.
do it. I wanted to do it growing up for a while. My friend's dad did it, and I just thought it was really inspiring. And I mean, I would still love to be able to kind of be involved in that some way, shape, or form. I just know it doesn't pay much. Unfortunately, it should pay a lot more, but it doesn't. Um, but
I'm with you on
yeah,
that. That's pretty cool. What is a ballpark as far as baseball? What is a baseball ballpark that you would like to visit that you haven't been to yet?
I haven't been to yet. I want to go to Pittsburgh. I'm a big bridge fanatic. I love to see different, like all these different structures, and the bridge that's right behind the park in Pittsburgh is gorgeous, and I would just love to be able to see it up close.
You would absolutely love it. That is actually one of the ballparks that I have been to, PNC Park. I have family out there. My stepmom is from Pittsburgh, so you will love that for sure. And obviously, I'm envious of you because I would love to go to Fenway. That's one of the parks that I have not been to yet. So I'm pretty sure you'll tell me I would love that park as well. So yes,
Oh, for sure.
absolutely.
It's so historic. It's amazing. It's a great time. My dad actually, I went with my dad, and some of his buddies came, and they all at the bar, like inside, and I was just
Mhm.
out there by myself. I think I was freshly 18 at the time, not even,
Mhm.
and I had a great time just being by myself, letting him do his own thing.
I love that. That's awesome. Now, two more of the rapid fire. Name a sport outside of softball that you would play, that you would dominate it.
Volleyball.
Okay. Now, from the looks of it, I'm going, and I might be wrong. From the looks of it, I'm going to say you're about 5'5", 5'6",
Mhm.
around there, right? You
Yeah.
you do you look like you got a little size to you. You did said third base, and you said four batter, which is cleanup. So I'm thinking you got
Hmm.
some power to you as well. So you're definitely not petite, for sure. Um, so I'm thinking 5'5", 5'6". So, but can you jump? What would you play in volleyball?
Probably libero. I'm not a big
Ooh,
jumper. I
ooh.
can get to a lot of the balls. I'm pretty good at keeping it up. I can serve pretty well.
Okay, okay. I'm with
I
you on
used
that.
to play keeper in soccer, but that
Mhm.
was a lot of stress if you let a goal in. I just didn't like that.
I feel that. Now, the last one for rapid fire is the opposite. Which sport would you play that you would absolutely suck in?
Basketball.
We gonna work on that. We gonna work on that. That's okay. That's all right though. At least you being honest and keeping it a buck with me. I appreciate that. And listen, this has
Yeah.
been a really, really dope conversation of learning about you, your why you play sports, what you do as a college athlete, what you do as a student athlete. In fact that you're doing lifting, you're going to crunch, your three eggs, your taco bowls that you make, but also the civil engineering part. I think that's amazing as well. I think the fact that you're a senior killing it in softball as you've been for the past few years, but also being a senior leader for a lot of young players on this team, because two-thirds of your team is freshmen and sophomores, which is a lot of players. You guys have played 5 games. It's early in the season, but obviously you got a lot more to go. I do want to ask this bonus question though, and that is, do you like doubleheaders or do you like because in softball, there's a lot of times where softball players play doubleheaders in college. I've covered college softball, and sometimes in the doubleheaders, some of those pitchers pitch both games, and they're like, "That's crazy." Do you like doubleheaders?
No. I do not like that one. We actually in Alabama we played a triple header. We played back to back to back because Saturday was too cold to play and our coach wanted to
Mm,
get as many games as we could. So we played back to back to back, which that wasn't terrible and I think that's because of the weather. It
mm,
was high 50s, the sun was out, it was nice, it wasn't too
mm,
cold.
mm.
You were able to kind of just keep playing and be okay. I think when you get to Florida and you get into those like later months, like past February, where it's just like the sun is beating down and you're just dog tired and you're just
Right,
hot 24/7, like
right.
then those games become so much more strenuous. And I also think it depends on like the game itself.
True.
Typically last year we had a lot of very like strung out long games
Mm,
and those really kill. Luckily, when we were in Alabama, nothing was like all of our games were relatively quick. And so I think as long as like you don't have any super long innings where people are scoring or like bad innings where like you're making error on error on error, it's not bad. But it's definitely it's crazy how like you can do all these games in like high school and travel ball. The minute you get to college and you play your first doubleheader, you're so tired and it's so insane. Like that crazy just switch, even if it's just a couple months later.
right, right.
But I mean,
Absolutely.
I would rather not play a doubleheader, but I also like having Sunday off. I know a lot of big D1s. It's more baseball than softball.
Right.
I was talking to my boyfriend about it. I guess that he's up at LaSalle. He plays Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know when his off day is, but I like having that Sunday where it's you don't have to do anything. So
Right.
I think it's worth the trade off. But I mean, they're not my favorite.
I feel that. Yeah, I ask a lot of, especially softball players, do they like double headers? And a lot of times, when I had to cover it on a daily basis of college softball, you would have these two and these fours or these one and it's 3 p.m.s, and they just would just hate it. And then you would have two double headers sometimes in the same week on
We
different
have
days,
we have back to back to back double headers in March. It's like it's a March 5th, 6th, and 7th. We have 6 games in 3 days.
and that's
And
crazy.
I'm dreading that. But you know, it's the last year. I'm here for it, and we're
I
gonna make it
feel it.
through.
I feel it. I feel that. Now, obviously, I'm a huge new fan of yours and your team at Florida Tech softball. I hope you guys go very far. Hope you guys win a lot of games. How can anybody that's not near your city or near your stadium or can't make it to a game, how can people watch the game? How can people view you guys and keep up with you guys?
So our conference is the Sunshine State Conference, the SSC, and so there's a couple different ways you can watch. For one, if you just go onto our website, like the Florida Tech website, you go to the schedule. There's a little like camera or there's a little like TV icon next to the game, and it says "Watch Now," so you can
Hmm.
just go there. Or you can go to the SSC network, and it has all the games lined up in our conference, like who plays who, and you can watch them there as well.
I
So if
love
like
it.
we're away, say we're at like Tampa, I'm sure you know of. Say we were at Tampa, we're not at there this year, but hypothetically, you could go onto the SSC website and find that game, our game and the Tampa game, and watch that. Or you could just go to Tampa's page, and it should be the same thing on the schedule with the little TV icon. It says like "Watch Now."
Absolutely. I'm definitely going to be locked in and paying attention and hoping that you do get that home run record at some point. And listen, just locked into your team as well. Hopefully, you guys have continued success all season long. I really enjoyed having you on my podcast. This has been absolutely amazing. And my final question to you is that is there anything else you would like to add about yourself, softball, school, uh, anything at all before we conclude?
Um, Anything about myself? I don't believe so. I mean, I feel like I was pretty out there. I wanted to show you. I have this next to me. This is the old manual for civil engineering for that test I have to take.
Yeah.
So this is the manual that they have to use. They used to have to use to take the exam itself. Like they'd have to navigate through this and do all that. But now it's online, and you can
Okay.
just word search in the manual, which is really nice. Um, I mean, anything about me? I don't think so. I have a fun fact that like I think is kind of just funny, which is
Hmm.
that I chipped the same front tooth 7 times throughout like
Wow.
my childhood,
Okay.
which I think is pretty funny. But
Wow. Seven. That's quite a bit. Wow.
and it was the
Okay.
front tooth, so
Okay. Well, with that being said, I love that. That's a nice mic drop. We can drop the mic on that one, but for sure. Listen, you got to keep me updated on what you do as far as how you do on that test. But also you and I will most certainly stay in touch. Continue killing it in softball. Congratulations once again for your upcoming graduation coming up in May. And thank you again for hopping on my podcast. You enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening and the rest of your week. And again, Miranda, you and I will be in touch.
thank you.
You're very welcome.
Bye.